Hello viewers, how is everyone doing today? Today, we've got a beautiful, heartwarming movie for you, perfect for food lovers. This film is for everyone, no matter who you are. So let's dive into the explanation of the 2018 movie Little Forest. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. It really motivates us to keep going. The movie kicks off in a lush, green environment surrounded by trees. Our heroine, Rizu, narrates her story. She says, "3 months ago, I came back to this village. This is my village, where I grew up. But as an only child, I kept thinking, what kind of career could I build in this tiny place? So I left for the city, chasing a job and a better future. But once I got there, I realized something. My village might be small, but it's so green, so peaceful, and so full of happiness. I couldn't stop thinking about it day and night, wondering why I ever left. I decided my choice was a mistake, and I returned to my village." Rizu stayed in the village for a year, but then she had to go back to the city to finish some unfinished business. After 3 months, she returned. She describes her village. "What can I say about it? Just look at it. It's so green. Most people here grow rice, and we get tons of apples and other fruits in season. We also grow potatoes and other root crops. Sure, some things we have to buy from the city, but almost everything is produced at home. I've never felt as good anywhere else as I do here." Rizu recalls the day she returned from the city. It was winter and snow blanketed everything. Arriving home, she opened the door, laid down, and thought, "I missed my house and my village so much." By evening, Rizu was starving. All she had at home was a bit of flour and some rice. There was a cabbage patch in the backyard, but everything was frozen under the snow. Still, Rizu dug up some cabbage, made soup, cooked the rice, and enjoyed a comforting dinner. The movie doesn't show who else lives with her, but after satisfying her hunger, she goes to sleep. In the morning, Rizu kneads dough, clears snow from around the house, and spots a truck pulling up. The driver smiles at her, but Rizu doesn't recognize him. Back inside, she makes pasta from the dough, seasons it, and pairs it with cabbage. It looks delicious, and she eats with pure joy. Later, she starts chopping firewood. Then her friend Gina arrives, thrilled to see her. Gina teases, "What's this? You just showed up without telling me. Were you planning to leave without seeing me?" Rizu laughs, "No way, how could I forget you?" Gina asks why Rizu came back, saying, "You couldn't find good food in the city, huh?" Rizu jokingly agrees, but Gina presses, "Liar, who leaves the city just for food? Bet you failed that teacher training exam and your boyfriend passed. He called you out and you ran back here, didn't you?" Rizu brushes it off. "It's been a forever since I had good food, so I came back, that's it. As long as I'm here, I'll eat well." The truth is, Rizu was training to be a teacher in the city while working part-time at a supermarket. She had to eat hotel food, which she hated. Rizu loves rice, but the city's rice was undercooked and tough, like rubber. She tried cooking in her room, but fresh vegetables and fruits were hard to come by. Struggling to breathe in that environment, Rizu failed her exam. Her boyfriend, who passed, started berating her, saying, "You failed again?" Rizu couldn't focus on studying and felt she needed to do something else with her life. The movie also introduces Ronnie, another friend from the same village. Rizu, Gina, and Ronnie grew up together and were close. Like Rizu, Ronnie once left the village for a good job in the city, but she didn't want to work under someone else. She went to the city with big dreams and likely succeeded, but she grew tired of the mechanical lifestyle. Eventually, she returned and started working in her father's orchard. Gina, meanwhile, studied in the village and now works at a nearby bank with a decent salary. But her manager is always angry, constantly causing problems. Gina prays daily, "God, please transfer my manager or transfer me." When night falls, Rizu feels scared to sleep alone, but somehow she manages. In the morning, her aunt visits and asks about her mother's condition. Hearing her mother's name makes Rizu feel uneasy. She replies, "I've only been here a couple of days." Her aunt takes her to our house, cooks Rizu's favorite meal, and Rizu, enjoying it, says, "Honestly, I'm loving this. Don't stop me. I'm digging in." Later, when Rizu returns home, she finds Ronnie standing there with a dog. Rizu asks, "How are you?" Ronnie responds, "I don't quite remember, but I came by truck. You probably didn't recognize me." Rizu realizes, "Oh, that was you." Ronnie confirms, "Yep, that was me. You live here alone, so I brought you a dog. His name's Phoebo." With that, Ronnie leaves. That night, Rizu eats the food her aunt made and sleeps well.
The next morning, we see a flashback where Riju expresses resentment toward his mother. He recalls, "One day when I was coming home from school, Mom wasn't there. Evening came and she still didn't show up. The next day, she was still gone. Then I found a letter she left for me. It said, 'You're grown now, you don't need me, you can handle your own life. Take care of yourself because your mom wants to live her own life.' I didn't finish reading it. What was the point? I stashed that letter somewhere so I'd never think about it again. When I was 4, my dad passed away and Mom raised me. But when I grew up, how could she just abandon her daughter like that? I don't know where she went or who she's with. Honestly, I haven't tried looking for them. That day, I decided I didn't need anyone. I left this village and moved to the city." Now, Riju has invited his friends Ejena and Ronnie over because he's planning to bake a special cake. First, he cooks red lentils, then grinds millet into flour and prepares some green leafy vegetables. For yellow coloring, he soaks dried greens in water and makes dough. He creates separate green and yellow batters, steams them, and bakes the cake. Meanwhile, Ronnie's outside doing some chores, and Riju and Ejena watch her. Ejena confides in Riju, "She's my friend. I know I shouldn't say this, but I really like Ronnie. I think I love her." Riju laughs. "Oh, back in the day, she was always picking fights with me. Where's this love coming from now?" Ejena shrugs. "What else is there in this village, friend?" Ronnie and Ejena decide to have some drinks and fall quiet. Riju gazes at the sky, thinking he doesn't want to leave this place anymore. Spring arrives quickly. Riju plants vegetables in his garden, dries some for winter, and buys more seeds from the market to grow. Watching his plants thrive makes him happy. He and his friends pick edible flowers, mix them with noodles, and cook a delicious meal. Seeing them enjoy this colorful, natural food, how does it make you feel? Some elderly women in the village pull Riju aside and bombard him with questions. How's your training going? Did you pass? When will you get a job? Who do you love? Where's your mom? Has she remarried? Have you talked to her? The relentless questions frustrate Riju, but out of respect for the elders, he doesn't snap. He follows the unspoken rules, smiles, answers calmly, and excuses himself. While cooking at home, Riju thinks of his mother who taught him to make cabbage pancakes. Though he tries not to dwell on her, memories creep in. His mother used to say, "Please leave me alone and don't come into my thoughts." But Riju recalls how his mom would finely chop cabbage, mix it with flour, add a bit of sugar, and cook it in a pan to make pancakes. She'd roll them, add an egg, and cook them again. Once done, she'd garnish them with sauce and fresh herbs, topping them with a piece of nutritious wood ear mushroom. Riju loved those pancakes. Their aroma filled the house. One day, at a city restaurant, Riju saw a couple eating the same cabbage pancakes, and it brought his mother to mind. Now, as he prepares to make pancakes himself, he hesitates. He doesn't want to do anything that reminds him of his mother. So instead of pancakes, Riju makes something with cabbage that resembles a flatbread sandwich and sits down to eat comfortably. While eating, the postman arrives with a letter. Seeing the handwriting, Riju realizes it's from his mother. He tells the postman, "Do me a favor, send this back. I never want to see this letter again." The postman replies, "It only has your address, not the sender's. We can't return it. Now, come on, let's check out the fields." They see Riju's uncle planting saplings in the field with Roni driving a tractor. Riju was doing all sorts of tasks, and the way he's working is quite comical. Roni can't stop laughing. After finishing, they sit together, and Roni asks, "What did your mom write in the letter?" Riju says, "She didn't ask a single thing about me. The letter was about potato bread." Roni suggests, "Send her the recipe for her favorite dish." Riju snaps, "Don't be ridiculous. There was no return address. Where would I send it?" But then Roni asks, "How did your mom know you're here?" and walks off. Riju starts wondering, "Yeah, I didn't even think about that. How did she know?" Looking at his aunt, he realizes she might have told his mom, meaning she knows where his mom is.
Lost in thought, Riju heads home, mixes flour with vegetables, fries it, and eats it as a snack. Days pass, spring ends and summer arrives. The fields are lush and green, and the fruits and vegetables Riju planted are starting to bear fruit. Roni's dog, Fab, has grown big. One day, Gina complains, "My manager is torturing me at work. I'd rather die than keep working for him." Riju says, "If it's that bad, quit." Gina gets mad and snaps, "It's easy for a friend like you to say that. My situation's not like yours. I came to share my pain, and instead of comforting me, you tell me to quit?" She storms off. Riju is confused and asks Roni, "Why did she take it so seriously?" Roni explains, "That's Gina. Sometimes she brushes things off, and sometimes she takes small things way too deeply. Don't worry about it." Riju wonders why he's so bothered, and Roni reminds him of 4th grade, when some boys teased him. Riju ignored them, and after a few days, they got bored and stopped, because he didn't react. Riju recalls telling his mom about those boys. She had said, "Their goal is to make you angry. If you get mad, they'll think they've won and keep going. But if you ignore them and walk away smiling, they'll feel ashamed and stop." Riju followed her advice, and it worked. The boys gave up. Thinking of his mom again, he realizes he's been trying to forget her, but she's still his mom. He visits Gina at the bank, offers her a cake and asks, "Try this and tell me how it is. Did I mess it up, madam?" Gina laughs, eats it, and says, "Wow, chef, this is what you call a cake." Their disagreement melts away over the cake. Back home, Riju picks vegetables from his garden. It's sunny, so he takes a bath, makes a cucumber salad, and eats. He remembers a day when he and his mom ate tomatoes under a tree. His grandma used to scold his mom, and Riju once asked, "Why does grandma always yell at you?" His mom replied, "I had to marry your dad against her wishes, so she still takes it out on me." Riju asked, "If dad's gone, why didn't you remarry?" She said, "The happiness I had with your dad was enough for me." Riju asked, "Don't you miss him?" Mom ate half of the tomato and said, "I'm throwing this away." But then she added, "Next year, this will grow into a plant again and new tomatoes will come." With that, she walked away. Riju wondered if that was the answer she was looking for. Later, she realized, just like the tomato seeds would sprout into a new plant, even though Dad was gone, his memories would keep blooming in Mom's heart, fresh and alive, again and again. Riju kept thinking about it. That night, Riju and Roni went to the riverbank to catch snails. They cooked and ate them. Roni asked, "Have you ever cooked something for your boyfriend? Like made something with love?" Riju replied, "Yeah, once I cooked for him." His friends were like, "Your girlfriend's so sweet, cooking for us and bringing us all this food." But then my boyfriend said, if she spent less time cooking and more time studying, she might have passed her teacher training exam. He started laughing. I felt so hurt and humiliated. I left and never cooked for him again. Roni asked, "Did you break up with him?" Riju said, "No, why would I? But tell me about your girlfriend. What happened?" Roni sighed. I loved her so much. I decided to leave the city, but I didn't want to leave her. The problem was she didn't want to come with me to the village. In the end, she made me choose between her and the village, and I had to break up with her. Just then, Roni pulled out a big bottle of liquor, grinning. "I'm in celebration mode today. That idiot manager of mine got transferred somewhere else. I'm so happy. Tonight, we're all gonna have a blast." Later, Riju made a decision and called her boyfriend. She stumbled over her words, but before she could say much, he guessed it. He said, "Are you breaking up with me?" Riju said, "Yeah, I've decided to stay in the village." He apologized and hung up. It seemed like Riju was starting to fall for Roni. That's why she felt confident enough to break up with her boyfriend. Egina noticed Riju's behavior and figured out she was flirting with Roni. She confronted Riju. "Do you love Roni?" Riju looked at her cautiously and said, "No, let's make a deal. We'll both try for him. Whoever wins, wins." She extended her hand, and Agena shook it, accepting the challenge.
But then they both saw Roni show up with his ex. Where did this twist come from? Caught off guard, Riju and Agena turned away, forgetting about Roni for the moment. They headed home. "Man, I'm starving," Agena said, and whipped up a spicy soup with garlic and cabbage. Roni showed up too, and the three of them ate the fiery red soup together. Poor Roni's eyes turned red from the heat. Agena had made it way too spicy. Riju asked, "Where's your ex?" Roni shrugged. "She didn't come. She just stopped by to see me, but I told her I was going to hang out with another girl, and she left." Riju laughed. Fall arrived and leaves started dropping. Walnuts fell from the trees, and Riju roasted them with spices, storing them in glass jars. Roni's farm had tons of walnut trees. Riju said, "This harvest is going to make you rich." Roni replied, "Help me pick apples, and I'll give you a basket for free." But Riju said, "No, I've got to work on Auntie's farm. I'm super busy." Riju teased, "If you keep running around doing everyone else's work, when are you going to light up your own life? You've made some good choices so far, though." Riju fell quiet, knowing Roni was 100% right. A big storm hit that night. The next day, Roni's farm was a mess. Apples had fallen from the trees and were ruined. Riju said, "This is awful, so much damage." But Roni shook his head. "This is my first time farming. I'm not seeing this as a loss, but as a lesson. Now I know what happens in this season and how to protect my apple trees next time. I have understood everything. I love this work. That's why I'm farming, and it's profitable. But if there's a loss, a person has to be ready to face it. You, though, you've left everything half done. You've cheated yourself. Right or wrong, you have to make all the decisions in life's battles yourself. Don't make those decisions confused. Be confident." Saying this, Roni gives Riju an apple. When Riju returns home, he picks some fruit from a tree and hangs them in front of the house. Then he remembers a day when his mother had asked for those fruits. Riju had hung them up like this before, but back then he'd argued with his mother. "Mom, I don't want to stay in this village anymore. I'm going to the city to study in college and get a job there." Saying this angrily, he'd stormed off to school. He'd fought with his mother and even dropped out of school. After that, his mother couldn't find him. He'd left after writing a letter. Riju later reads that letter. His mother had written something he couldn't fully understand back then, but now when he takes it out and reads it, he sees what she wrote. "I never went to the city. I wanted you to grow up and make your own decisions because I never had that freedom. I wanted to give that to you. I got married young and all my dreams fell apart in this house. I don't want that to happen to you. Hearing you today, I realize you've matured. You can now tell good from bad. I fully believe you're starting to understand life. Now you need to figure out your own path and live life on your terms. I'm setting out on a journey to fulfill my dreams. Find your path and walk it. When you need me, I'll come to you." Having fully read his mother's letter, Riju now understands his mistake and writes a letter to his mother. "Mom, I miss you so much. Please forgive me. I misunderstood you, but today I've truly understood you." After writing this, he leaves home, leaving a note for Roni on the door. When Roni arrives, she reads the note where Riju wrote, "I'm going to the city for some work. I'll be back in a few months after it's done. Please take care of my dog, Fabo." In the city, Riju takes a job as a chef in a restaurant and completes his course. 3 months later, he returns to the village and sees his potted plants have grown. He picks some potatoes, boils them, stuffs them with onions, and starts eating. Then he hears a woof sound. Running outside, he sees Fabo standing there. "How did you get here?" Riju asks. A little distance away, Roni gestures, indicating she brought Fabo. When Riju returns to the village after so long, he rides a bicycle around, and this same scene was shown at the start of the movie. When Riju comes back home, the door is open, and it feels like no one's there. Suddenly, a sweet smile spreads across Riju's face, and the movie ends. We realize there's no one else in the house. Riju's mother has come. We can assume Roni told everyone that Riju read his mother's letter fully and is now completely confident in his life decisions. That's why his mother, happy with her daughter's choices, has returned. Viewers, that's the end of this wonderful movie. If you enjoyed this explanation and loved the film, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for staying with us until the end.